Hey guys, Omar here, broker and CEO of Alden Mortgage and Omar Realty. So you want to become a mortgage broker? Well, I'm going to show you how in the state of California. I actually own those two companies, Omar Realty and Alden Mortgage. I've been in real estate now for a better part of 2 decades, which is long as shit. I am a lot older than I think I want to tell people that I am. But I'm a mortgage broker. So in the state of California, we're able to go ahead and go both sides, which I don't understand why a lot of real estate companies don't advertise it. Most real estate companies in California did both sides. Every one of them. They don't tell you. I don't know why they don't. Should be illegal. They should always tell you right out the gate that they're affiliated with each other, but you don't know their affiliation until you sign a sales contract, and then they tell you, oh yeah, by the way, our preferred lender is, go kill yourself, whatever. So in order to become a mortgage broker in the state of California, first thing you need to do is you need to become a real estate broker. So in order to become a real estate broker, you are going to have to go to the Department of Real Estate. The Department of Real Estate will go ahead and tell you exactly what steps you need to take. Now in California, there's 2 routes that you could go ahead and take to become a real estate broker. One is if you have a 4-year degree. If you have a 4-year degree, you could go ahead and go to your e-licensing on the DRE website and then submit your application to go ahead and become a broker. Once you submit your application, you'll get an approval letter that says, okay, you're able to go ahead and test. Now, mind you, the test is not easy, okay? So don't think that I'm just going to become a mortgage broker or a real estate broker and this is all going to be hunky-dory and it's very, very easy. To some people, if you're very, very smart and you're able to retain information very well, by all means, yeah, of course, go. You could probably knock it out in a couple of weeks. But I always tell people, give yourself like about a month and a half of really, really, really studying. Remember, this is a 2-part study session. So I'm going to go on, wait till the end of the video, and you'll see every little bit of studying that you would have to do. It is not going to be for the faint of heart. This is very extremely difficult. And the studying part of it and getting your license has almost nothing to do with real estate itself. Just remember that. But anyway, so the first one is to go ahead and get your 4-year degree. 4-year degree, you go ahead and submit your application. You get your application submitted into the Department of Real Estate. They'll give you the approval. Go take your exam. Now, when you do go take your exam, remember, you can't take anything with you. There's no cheat sheets. There's no gum. There's no cell phones. There's no keys. There's no nothing. You walk into the Department of Real Estate. They'll tell you, okay, they'll give you fingerprints. Oh, actually, you have to do that before. You have to do something that's called a live scan, where you take your fingerprints and then they make sure that you're not like some big time criminal or, I don't know, you're not like part of the cartel or whatever it is. And then after you do that, you're able to go ahead and take your exam. After you take your exam, then you're officially licensed as a real estate broker. Number 2 is if you don't want to go and get a 4-year college degree and you just want to go ahead and do it just the way that you just want to do it the little bit of a longer route. I guess it would not really be a longer route because 4-year degree versus 2 years experience, and you get to do what's called OJT, which is on-job training. Second part is that you will need 2 years worth of experience licensed and employed by a real estate brokerage. So for instance, if you are a real estate agent and you work for me, you would have to have 2 years worth of experience. Then the DRE is going to ask how many listings you had, how many buyer's agents were you, how many rentals did you do. They're going to ask you everything in order to go ahead and qualify you to take the broker's license. So first you need to study for the real estate license. Then once you take your real estate license and you pass that exam, then you have to wait your 2 years. 2 years, submit another application, then you could take your broker's exam. Then once you take your broker's exam, they'll say, hey, what did you do in the 2-year span? Then you go ahead and submit your application, and then everything else stays the same. You'll get an approval process, you're able to test, you go to the Department of Real Estate, whatever city that you're at. LA has one, Sacramento has one, Oakland has one, San Diego has one. So you can go to any one of those and take your exam there. I'll put the DRE website below if you are in the state of California, but each state is different, so just Google Department of Real Estate in whatever state that you're in, and I'm sure you could find a lot of them. Now, majority of the places are all the same except for a few little bits and pieces, which we'll just get on later in the video. Then once you're done with all of this, now what we have to do is we need to take the next step. Now, being a real estate broker has nothing to do with being a mortgage broker. There are 2 different things guided or overseen by 2 different total people. Now, after you get your broker's license, then you're able to go ahead and submit your application, which is the NMLS. Through the NMLS, you would have to get Safe Act certified, right? So you would have to go ahead and take what's called a Safe Act test. Now, everybody knew what happened at post-2008, pre-2008. You know, everybody was going nuts. You didn't have to be licensed for anything. Everything was just it's like kind of like a wild, wild west. So after 2008 happened, they were like, you know what, we need to start regulating these guys because they're just going nuts. So now every single person that originates any type of lending will go ahead, well, real estate lending. I apologize, not every lending, because business still doesn't have any oversight. But any type of real estate lending, you will have to go through the NMLS in order for you to be able to originate any type of line of credit in the state of California. Then, once you go ahead and go on the NMLS site, you're going to create an account. After you create an account, they're going to give you an NMLS ID number. This NMLS ID number is something that's going to stay with you for the rest of your life. If you ever originate, that's going to be your number. If you're an originator, that's your number. If you're a broker, that's your number. For everybody, that's going to be your number. Now, it's very important to know this because a lot of times, especially if you work for a big bank, you're gonna be repeating that number like a million times. This is what your phone calls are going to look like, okay? Like, let's say Chase, for instance. Thank you for calling Chase. This is Omar, NMLS ID number 1486181. How may I help you? You have to do that all the time. All the time. It's super, super annoying. Now, for instance, Alden Mortgage. That's my company. Hey, how you doing? This is Omar, Alden Mortgage, NMLS number 1486181. How may I help you? You know, you'll get used to it. You'll definitely get used to it. But once you get your NMLS ID number, now if you just want to originate, you need sponsorship, okay? If you're just trying to be an MLO is called a mortgage loan originator. That's all you want to do. You could skip all the steps before. You don't need to be a real estate agent. You don't need to be a real estate broker. You don't need to do anything to go ahead and just be a mortgage loan originator. You go on an NMLS website, you get your NMLS ID number, you go ahead. Some places like your big box retail banks, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, you don't need to be Safe Act certified. They have their own certification in their process within their company. So you could just go straight into the bank. I want to be a mortgage originator with Bank of America or Chase or whatever it is. Mind you, you probably won't be originating right away. It'd be kind of weird to just let somebody with no experience to just start originating loans, dealing with the biggest transactions most people will ever deal with in their life, to somebody who doesn't know anything. But I've seen crazier stuff. Could happen. But you could apply. They'll usually put you as an assistant or maybe a processor, shadow somebody for a little bit, get to know loan products, get to know how to pre-qualify, all the guidelines and everything like that. And by the way, whenever you are in the game, whenever you are in the business of real estate lending, just remember guidelines. You're gonna think about this, okay? Guidelines mean absolutely almost nothing, okay? Guidelines are like, they always change. They're like, in the past, so we're in 2022, February, and in the past year, guidelines have changed probably about maybe like 8 times. It just always fluctuates. But you are going to need to know the gist of it. You are going to know what like a 7-1 ARM is, or a 5-1, or a conventional, conforming, non-conforming, home equity line of credits. When you work with big banks, it's very simple. They are very, very clear cut. They only do conforming. Very few non-conforming, because you go into the jumbo range. And then the only portfolio loans that they actually have is what's called a home equity line of credit, which is a HELOC, and those are just, you go ahead and put the information in, and then you dump it off to a fulfillment center. Those are just whatever. By the way, we do HELOCs too. No banks do them right now. At least last time I heard. I don't think nobody does them. We do them. HELOCs are, it's a good way, but whatever. I'm not going to get sidetracked. Then once you, but we're going to go ahead and stick to becoming a broker. So now that you got your broker's license, your real estate broker's license, you're going to go ahead and go into the NMLS website. You're going to go to an NMLS website. You're going to apply to become a broker. Then you have to go get Safe Act tested. This is a very difficult exam. This is not an easy exam. You are going to have to study your ass off. In my personal experience, now there might be some of you geniuses that have crazy IQs, and you could go ahead and knock this out like no tomorrow. But for the most of us, this is not an easy exam. It's been a while for me, but I remember 10 years ago, it was not an easy exam. It was very, very difficult. It's always good to think that an exam is more difficult than what it really is, because then, you know, it makes it easier on you. Because if you practice and you learn and you learn and you learn, then when test time comes around, it could just be a breeze and you don't have to worry about it, and you could just knock it out on the first shot. A lot of people don't knock it out on the first shot. And mind you, if you don't pass the first time, don't get discouraged. It's fine. Shit happens. You could go ahead and keep trying, because the worst thing is for you, and I've seen this happen a lot, is like, you know, somebody will take it once or even twice or even 3 times, and then they fail and they're like, forget it, I'm not even going to do it. Don't stop. Just keep going, because eventually you will be that guy. You will be your own broker, because this is not the hard part. This is the easy part. Getting licensed is the easy part. Of course, there's expenses that come along with it. You know, each exam costs money. Your live scans cost money to go ahead and get approval. Now, in California, to be a broker, there are yearly costs. So we do have to pay we have to get continued education every single year. Every 12 months before December rolls around, you have to start getting your continued education. It's $300, but then $100 for your company. We'll do that in another video. Actually, no, we're not going to do another video. We're going to do it in this video, okay? So when you initially get your SAFE Act, or you get your SAFE Act, you have to pay for that exam. You have to pay for your live scan. Now, I think live scans were like $70 because you have to do the DOJ, I think it is, whatever. It's you have to get federal live scan, which they take fingerprints to make sure that you're not some sort of criminal. After you do that, then you have to go ahead and apply to do the exam. That test costs money. I think that's like another like $50, $60, $70. Don't quote me on this. Go to the NMLS website, look it up yourself. I'll put the link in the description below, and you could kind of figure it out from there. Then after you do that, then you need to pay your fees. You know, it's $300 for your company, or for your individual, and then $100 for your company. That's another $400. So it's not cheap to go ahead and get started. And this is just before you even start able to advertise. Then after you go ahead and you pass your SAFE Act and you pass all this stuff and you paid all of your fees, now comes the difficult part of going out there and getting clients. And I hope you get a bunch of them. I hope you work for me, actually. I hope we're a broker affiliate. But if not, any company out there is going to be really, really good. And hopefully this content helped you out a little bit. Hopefully this assisted you some way, somehow, in getting your mortgage license, getting your real estate license, getting your broker real estate license, or whatever it is. And then until next video. And for up to 50% commission rebate, and for 0% commission on listing, that's right. If you want to learn more about that, just, you know, comment below. Let me know if you want to hear about that. Link in the description below. Submit your application. And if you are looking for a real estate company to work for, we were more than happy to go ahead and start hiring any one of you guys. The more the merrier for any assistance. But remember, shop around when it comes to real estate companies. The way that people shop around for mortgages, the way that people shop around for real estate companies, do the same thing. Okay, shop around. When you're in real estate, okay, just remember, you are not working for somebody. You are self-sourced. You are originating everything yourself. Everything is based off of what you do. So when you go out there, make sure that you are not putting anything on the table. So, you know, majority of banks will pay you between 60 and 65 basis points. You know, try to get a little bit more. An extra 5 to 10 basis points is always, it's a lot better than not doing anything. Same goes with the real estate companies. Somebody's trying to do a 40-60 split with you, and they're not offering any type of dialers, if they're not offering any type of anything, then what are you really doing? You're the one that's out there putting the money in for your dialers. You're the one that's putting money out for your gas costs to go ahead and take people out. Just make sure you shop around. But until next video, if you have anything else you want me to go over, link in the description below, and I'll try to answer as much as I can. I'll try to make these videos a little bit more continuous. And until next video, guys, appreciate you watching. Try to hit a like, subscribe, comment on this video, and help the algorithm out a little bit. Get us up there. We're gonna try to get all the way to the top if we can. Thank you guys.